The first schools appeared in ancient Sumer about 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. In Sumer, school was a privilege and only boys were taught there. So you're in luck, Arnold! Computers haven't been invented yet, so you have to write on soft clay tablets. Phew, what a mess. Yes, you're very lucky to have been born in the 21st century. The longer you look at the sun, the deeper the ultraviolet rays penetrate into your eyes. First, they burn the outer layer, the cornea. Then they damage the proteins in your eye's lens. And then they reach the light-sensitive cells of the retina. Your bones are stronger than concrete. In the lower part of your leg, between the knee and the foot, lies the tibia, a single square millimeter which can withstand a load of up to 12 kilograms in tension and up to 16 kilograms in compression. That's 7 times stronger than concrete. Imagine houses made of bones. Well, yeah, it is a little bit creepy.
You should know how much energy drink can be lethal. Energy drinks consist of 4 main ingredients that pose a risk: caffeine, taurine, guarana, and ginkgo biloba. 1 energy drink won't do much harm, and even 2, maybe just an upset stomach. 2 servings of energy drinks don't exceed the safe daily caffeine limit, but each subsequent one risks causing dizziness, nausea, arrhythmia, and increased blood pressure. However, even after the 20th serving, you're far from overdosing, because the lethal dose, for example, of caffeine is 0.6 ounces for an adult, and after that, no drink will bring you back to life. If you don't understand how much that is, imagine your stomach filled to the brim with liquid, and you still have another 12 gallons of unconsumed energy drink. Did you know that hair can grow outward and inwardly into your body? Frequent shaving makes hair thinner and the skin rougher due to micro-traumas. When shaving, only the visible part of the hair is removed, while the follicle remains in place. It becomes harder for the thin hair to break through the rough skin, so it grows inward. Ingrown hairs can reach up to 2 inches. In severe cases, you might find an entire tangle of hair under the skin. In such a case, be prepared for skin infections caused by a swarm of multiplying bacteria. If left untreated, the skin may start to decay. Remember this the next time you shave. By the way, Arnold, that was just a regular mole. Even if you shuffle a deck of cards for 1,200 years, you will still get a unique sequence of cards each time. 3 playing cards can be arranged in 6 different sequences. 5 cards can be arranged in 120 ways. There are 8 followed by 67 zeros ways to arrange 52 cards. Therefore, the origins of the genre trace back to the Edo period with its famous artwork, The Dream of the Fisherman's Wife. In the future, due to increasing censorship on the depiction of explicit areas, artists had to create designs that deviated from human forms. And thus, we now have abominations of all kinds.
Children were beaten for poor performance in ancient Egypt. And in South Korea, for example, a ban on corporal punishment came only in 2010.
Hello, Arnold. Did you know that the treadmill was originally an instrument of torture? One day, the inventor William Cubitt visited a prison and was appalled to see that the criminals were just wandering around the yard doing nothing. Cubitt proposed his invention, the tread wheel. It was a 2-meter wheel with 24 steps. Walking in unison, the prisoners would ascend an imaginary endless hill. And as a bonus, they ground grain. However, the prison warden decided that grinding grain was unnecessary. But as a punishment for the unruly, it was perfect. The daily norm was set at 16,630 feet, more than half of Everest. It was more exhausting than working in a mine. In 1902, the tread wheel was recognized as inhumane and abolished. 11 years later, Claude Hagen improved the tread wheel and invented the treadmill. So, from an instrument of torture, it became still an instrument of torture.
Could a diamond sword exist in reality? Diamond is very strong. A diamond sword would be half the weight of a regular one, and it would be really sharp. If 1 carat goes for $9,000, and our sword has 3,500 carats, it would cost $32 billion. Could a diamond sword exist in reality? Diamond is very strong. A diamond sword would be half the weight of a regular one, and it would be really sharp. If 1 carat goes for $9,000, and our sword has 3,500 carats, it would cost $32 billion.
Did you know that you have unnecessary teeth? They're called wisdom teeth, which, in your case, Arnold, sounds rather odd. Wisdom teeth, at the very edge of the jaw, are an inheritance from our ancestors. Our great-great-grandfathers didn't drink smoothies, they chewed rat meat, so they used all their teeth, sometimes not just their own. A gene mutation, MYH16, increased brain size by reducing the jaw. People started thinking more and chewing less. Don't worry, Arnold, this doesn't apply to you.
Do you have a dog allergy? Did you know that dogs can also be allergic to humans? A dog's immune system can perceive human dandruff and sweat as allergens. The dog starts itching and sneezing, and its skin turns red. This is a rare occurrence, but it looks like you and Susie will have to part ways. Yes, Arnie, it's emotionally very tough. Oh, you found a solution. But shaving your hair won't help either you or the dog. Now your life together will be sticky. But at least you kept your friend. What would you do if your dog became allergic to you? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Do you know why the math book is sad? Because it has too many problems. Lonely people laugh at poor jokes, Arnold. By the way, it only takes 4 seconds for silence to become awkward.
The woodpecker's tongue is so long that it completely wraps around the skull inside the head. This way, it cushions during constant pecking at the tray, protecting the brain. If you had a tongue like a woodpecker, it would be half the length of your body. By the way, you've been wanting to try a tongue kiss for a while. It seems neither Berta nor her boyfriend enjoyed the kiss. However, Arnold, you're impossible to knock out, and your new abilities can be used to their fullest extent.
Do you want to see what a tick is capable of? When it bites you, it infects you with the tick-borne encephalitis virus. But due to the anesthetic in its saliva, you won't even notice the bite. In the first 2 days, the virus will spread through your bloodstream. The next 5 days will be marked by fever, fatigue, headache, and muscle pain. On the 7th day, the virus will infect the brain cells. In addition to the previous symptoms, you will experience convulsions, hallucinations, paralysis, and vomiting. By the 20th day, you will, at best, be in a coma. The brain will become inflamed, and all other organs will fail. On the 40th day, your death will be confirmed. But there's good news. The likelihood of such a scenario is only 0.006%. Arnold, you're quite the unlucky one. We are explaining what consciousness is in 1 minute. My name is Jerry, and here we go. You surely know about the superposition of electrons, where an electron exists in multiple states simultaneously. Only when an observer appears does the electron choose one specific state. What if our consciousness is determined by the superposition of electrons in the neurons of our brain? This means that outside our space, an observer determines the superposition in our world. After the brain's death, the observer moves to another space with different physical parameters. You can call it a soul if you want. So, if we learn to preserve the superpositions of electrons in the brain even after death, we can achieve quantum immortality. Yes, baby, we are on the brink of the greatest discovery. We just need to figure out how to preserve the memory from the brain's neurons. If you know of any, let me know. This fact will make you wet your pants, literally. When your bladder fills up 2/3, pressure increases at its base. That's your cue to take a bathroom break. But in space, in zero gravity, you'll only feel it when it's too late. Toilets are a serious matter in space. In 1961, due to technical glitches, astronaut Alan Shepard spent 5 hours in the launch capsule waiting for liftoff. And he had to relieve himself right in the spacesuit. Result? He shorted out the heart rate sensor. But thankfully, the 15-minute flight went smoothly. Nowadays, space stations use toilets that recycle urine into drinking water. In a year, an astronaut drinks 190 gallons of recycled urine. So, still want to be an astronaut? Arnold, are they cutting you open? Oh, got it. You've got kidney stones. Kidney stones are excruciatingly painful, and it can last for weeks. The urine in your kidneys isn't just water. It's packed with minerals and salts. The less you drink, the more concentrated these salts become, and they begin to form crystals. Crystals grow, snowballing into solid stones. When they exit your body, they block your urinary tract, causing unbearable pain. The pain from a tiny stone is often compared to childbirth. Now imagine this. The largest reported kidney stone weighed 3 pounds. That's heavier than your brain. So drink up, Arnold. How many liters of water do you drink every day?
One nuclear explosion on average will release 50 tons of dust into the atmosphere. The dust from the explosion of all nuclear weapons on Earth could cover 50 to 85% of the Earth's sky. But modern computer models promise that a nuclear winter will last no more than 1 month. A nuclear explosion will destroy about 3,000 square kilometers. In total, there are about 362 million square kilometers suitable for destruction on Earth. To destroy everything, it would take around 128,000 warheads. This is 10 times more than there are in the world.
Did you know that the brain consumes 20% of the body's total energy? That's over 300 kilocalories. So the brain needs about a slice of pizza a day to function. But how much energy is that really? On the brain's energy, you could ride an electric scooter for an hour, or use a flashlight for around 10 hours. It's even enough to charge a phone. But that's for regular people. Your brain seems to be on a diet.